All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a big day today. Fed Chair Powell is speaking at 16:35 GMT, and a lot of people are probably going to be paying pretty close attention to this, but I honestly don't think he's going to say very much significant because the FOMC meeting is next week, and if he has something that's going to be market moving to say, he's probably going to save it for next week to get it done. But man, did I call it. I just want to take a second to pat myself on the back here because I called it with this 88-week cycle. And several weeks ago, I put this blue line right here telling you guys that it was probably going to be the beginning of the parabolic movement. And wouldn't you know, we started to explode this week exactly, really on Monday, almost as soon as this candle started to print over the blue line. I'm not going to say I can call it like this every time, but man, if this doesn't get you guys to push that subscribe button, then I really don't know what will. And I'm going to be trying to make predictions like this the whole bull market, so I hope you guys are subscribed so that you won't miss out on any of these calls. Anyway, if you look here at the hourly chart, you can see that we do have a possible bearish divergence that's actually playing out here on the RSI, with the Bitcoin price struggling and failing to make a higher high here and trying to break above this wick, but the RSI actually making a lower high right here. And this could be an indication that this rally is getting a little bit steamed out and we might be in for a retracement before ultimately continuing again after finding support down here, hopefully around about $31,500, which was a previous level of resistance. If you look here at the daily chart, you can see that we were bouncing off of this trend line as support several times during the beginning of this year, and actually it looks like we're turning it into resistance here as we're coming up and bouncing off of it from the bottom side, and this could be significant enough to send us back down. But I really think that would only be healthy, and hopefully we can just come back down here to turn this level of previous resistance into support, like I was saying a while ago. And if you go back here in history, you can see that this level of resistance that we're bouncing off of right now actually was a level of support during the previous bull market. So this could be a significant level, but if we can actually break through this white line, then maybe we can pump up here to about $40,000 or $45,000 before we find our next level of resistance. Ultimately, it's all going to be hinging on when and whether or not we actually do get this BlackRock ETF approved, hopefully coming up this week. According to this article on The Street, the latest change to the BlackRock ETF proposal may be the key to the historical Bitcoin price increase. It says this month, the New York-based financial investment company BlackRock updated its filing for a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, bringing the company one step closer to clinching the green light from the U.S. SEC. And it looks like they may be actually in negotiations, and with the ticker actually starting to be revealed and all kinds of other news breaking, and BlackRock's rumors of them actually possibly doing some seeding this month, it looks like they're really expecting this thing to be approved at any time now. And the whole market is just waiting on bated breath on the edge of their seat with huge anticipation, just waiting for the second that this thing is approved because the market is probably going to explode and never come back down from there. We did have the ticker being added to the DTCC, and then it was removed and apparently added back. And it looks like they're really just trying to manipulate the market because this is the second time we've got some kind of a false report around the approval of the ETF. Last week, we got Cointelegraph saying that it was actually being approved, and then about 15 minutes later, that turned out to be false as well. To me, it just seems like they see all of the pent-up anticipation and all of the demand around Bitcoin, and they know that as soon as it gets approved, this thing is going to explode to the upside. Everybody's just waiting right here with the buy button, and anytime there's a little bit of a hint of some news that maybe the ETF has finally been approved, everybody just hits that buy button and the market just shoots straight up. Whenever that happens, the big whales and probably even BlackRock are selling and making the price dump just probably at the same exact time that they're releasing the news that it's a false report. And they might just keep doing this over and over again to keep dumping on retail investors and trying to scoop up as much as they can at the very bottom before it's ultimately and officially finally announced that there is actually an approval of the spot ETF by the SEC and that it's going to be trading. Because whenever that actually does happen, they're not going to be able to get any more cheap Bitcoin, and I think they're just taking advantage of this time right now to manipulate things as much as they can. They can only do that for so long, though, and eventually this thing is going to be approved, so if you can just hold on through this emotional roller coaster in the meantime, it's going to pay off in the long run, and in the next couple of years, maybe BlackRock is going to buy us all new houses and new cars. According to this article on Reuters, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has been added to the eligibility file, says clearinghouse DTCC. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be from the first reporting or the second or whatever, but they're trying to say that this move is not indicative of a regulatory approval according to the DTCC. And while it may not be indicative that a regulatory approval has already taken place, the DTCC isn't going to be breaking this news, but I'm pretty sure that it is indicative that they are really expecting it to happen at any moment, and everybody seems to be able to read through those lines and knows what's going on, so Bitcoin has been making all kinds of gains on this ETF approval speculation. Bitcoin is up about 17, almost 18% in just the past 3 days, and this is without even having an actual approval of the spot ETF being announced. This is only on speculation and maybe because BlackRock has started to seed the product a little bit. But in my opinion, this is just a taste of what's to come. Maybe this is a buy the rumor situation and there is going to be maybe a little bit of sell the news after the approval is actually announced. But I wouldn't be surprised if we actually don't even see a little bit of sell the news going on, because this is going to be ultimately so bullish for the future of Bitcoin that people might not even take any profits because they know what kind of profits are on the way. But anyway, this candle right here is really exciting, and like I said, it's just a teaser of what's going to come in the bull market, because people haven't even really started to talk about Bitcoin again yet. It's just the people here in the crypto community in this little tiny echo chamber that we've got going on. The mainstream media and all of the biggest influencers on YouTube and really everywhere still think that cryptocurrency is a scam, and all of the biggest celebrities that were involved in the last bull market have tarnished their reputation and are all just labeled as scammers and miscreants, really. The narrative and the general thesis around cryptocurrency is not looking good right now for the mainstream public. And even though Bitcoin is up 100% for this year so far, traditional investors are still excited about the 5% returns that they're getting on treasury yields, which is just kind of crazy. I don't know why anybody would want to get a 5% return on the world's safest investment whenever they're just continuing to increase the supply and drive the value straight out of the dollar and run it into the ground. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has a constrained supply, underinvested market participants, and Bitcoin's rejuvenated shine as a safe haven asset from troubled traditional markets and geopolitical turmoil are also catalysts worth considering, according to this article on CoinDesk. And that's reflective of what Larry Fink has been saying, but traditional market investors still see Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as tech stocks, and they think with the coming recession, or the recession that's yet to be announced that we've actually been grinding through for some months already, they think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are going to take another dump, and that we're all going to be trapped in this bull trap and crushed into the next leg of a brutal bear market. But like I've been saying for months, or probably really even years already, Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, and it's going to be a flight to safety one day. It just has to go through its adoption process, and people have to realize that it's really digital gold. Not to mention, it's never even been through a real recession, so it's never even had the opportunity for the investors to place that narrative on the project. I think that Bitcoin's best days are ahead of it, and it's just about to start coming into its own. BlackRock says that the best way to maximize your profits is to have more than an 80% allocation to Bitcoin, which sounds absolutely insane. But the smartest investors and the biggest money managers in the world are finally starting to come to terms with what the crypto community has been saying for years. And as they continue to lead this narrative, it looks like the general public is going to eventually catch up and realize that the US dollar is doomed, and there's really only one escape, and that is Bitcoin. Even Wall Street giant Morgan Stanley has apparently suddenly declared crypto winter is over as the ETF hype pushed Bitcoin above 35,000. And as these Wall Street giants continue to adopt this narrative, it's only a matter of time until the rest of the public gets on board and we go to the moon. According to this article on Cointelegraph, Galaxy predicts 74% Bitcoin price increase the first year after the ETF launch. And in my opinion, this is really very conservative because we're already up 100% this year, and that's without even having the ETF approved. It's just on speculation of one. And even though we did just get news that crypto-friendly Representative Tom Emmer has withdrawn from the speaker race, the odds are that we are probably going to get a pro-crypto speaker for the House. And with this, along with the Bitcoin ETFs and all of the other positive narratives that are starting to swell up around the cryptocurrency space, It looks like we're just getting heated up, and before we know it, all of our friends that we haven't spoken to in 2 or 3 years are going to be hitting us up again and asking if it's a good time to buy crypto. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do we still have time to get our bags packed, or is an ETF imminent and you better already have your bags in the rocket because we're blasting off and going to the moon next week? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget I've got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with early access on X. Also, if you want to chat with the community or get real-time updates on the markets, you can find those only in the Only Good Discord server. There's a link down in the description. Also, if you want to support my channel, there's gear over at onlygoodcrypto.com, and don't forget to hit that follow, like, or subscribe button. Most importantly, though, don't forget to have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.